Hello, I'm back with part 2 of a talk I'm giving about some quotes from Alan Watts about control and surrender. I left off on part 1 having read a long quote, and I will reread that now to try to pick back up of where I was. So Alan Watts had said, "We have been taught to idolize control as the path to security. But true security is not found in control. It is found in connection with the natural rhythm of existence, connection with the intelligence that moves the planets and opens the flowers. When you align with that rhythm, you no longer need to force outcomes. You no longer panic when things fall apart because you understand they are falling into alignment. Every time life disrupts your plans, it is correcting your course. Every time something slips from your grasp, it is because your hands were meant to be open. The universe is not punishing you. It is guiding you toward authenticity. You cannot receive what is meant for you while your fists are clenched around what is not. Control blocks the flow of divine timing. It replaces surrender with struggle and turns learning into suffering. The more you try to control, the more life mirrors your resistance. The moment you let go, life mirrors your peace. This is not a spiritual cliche. It is the law of energy itself. What you resist persists. What you accept transforms. The universe does not respond to your commands. It responds to your state of being. If you vibrate with fear, you attract chaos. If you move in trust, you attract order. The energy you embody becomes the reality you experience. So what is our perspective of what is going on in our lives and about the universe? Do we feel that it is our enemy trying to punish us? Or can we trust it, like in the natural world, how it has a certain rhythm? Things are in order. That same power works in our lives if we allow it to. So where we get so upset because our mental plans aren't going the way we want them to, instead of feeling under attack and suffering and resisting it and getting more of that, because our energy becomes that way, then going negative into a downward spiral, could we change our perspective of that, and that I can trust this divine knowing is operating for my good. Perhaps it is course correcting me because what my mental plans weren't going to be the best for me for various reasons. I don't even have to know what those reasons are. But when we find that it's not coming together, what our plan was, could we look at that as the love of God stepping in to redirect us? It's a change of our own perspective. And then, instead of us fighting it and trying to control it, life would have to mirror our resistance of it by giving us more to resistance. If we can trust and let go, life can mirror our peace by more experiences of peace. Our vibration matters. Another quote from Alan Watts is, "You have mistaken control for power, but real power is found in presence. Presence is not about manipulating the moment. It is about merging with it." When you are present, you no longer need to plan every outcome. You are guided by something deeper than intellect. Intuition. Intuition is the whisper of the universe through your consciousness. It does not shout. It does not insist. It invites. But control makes too much noise to hear that whisper. It fills your mind with what ifs until you are deaf to the truth that all is well. Control tries to protect you from pain, but in doing so, it protects you from growth. It creates safety at the cost of expansion. It builds walls where life wants to build wings. You cannot fly if you are always clutching the ground. Letting go is not weakness. It is the highest act of courage. It is the faith that life knows what it's doing, even when you don't. It is the wisdom to recognize that you do not need to control the winds to set sail. You only need to adjust your sails and trust the direction. Every plan that collapses is an invitation to trust deeper. Every uncertainty is a reminder that control was never real. When you let go, you find that the universe carries you with exquisite precision. It gives you not what your mind demands, but what your soul requires. Control belongs to the ego. Surrender belongs to the consciousness. So here we might ask ourselves, do I want to stay stagnant and locked down to feel safe, for the illusion of safety? Hasn't been working out for me up to date doing that. Or have I had enough experiences where, since I have lived that way a long time and done that, it's time to try something new? Again, might I have a change in perspective that perhaps something not going according to my plan that I created in my mind about how it should go, how I want it to be mentally, if it's not working that way, can I get quiet and listen instead of fighting against it and allow for guidance? Can I quiet the noise of my mind to allow my intuition to speak, to hear the whisper of my intuition? Do I trust that life knows what it's doing and has a higher vantage point than my mind? If I'm able to do this, I will have a lot more freedom in my life. And I might be quite amazed when I look back and discover that by letting go, the universe did have a plan. If I can allow this for a time of trusting and seeing what happens, certain things might fall into place that I could have never achieved with my illusion of control and putting my plans forcefully into action or trying to, I might find that with grace, things fell together rather miraculously, and I experienced more joy, more peace, and more growth than ever before. So those are some of the thoughts I had about a motivational speech by Alan Watts regarding surrendering versus trying to control. Thanks for listening.